Hello, my name is Tyler, or Darth Valakor, as known on TikTok and Instagram, and today I am doing a build guide on Madam Saber's signature staff that you can get from all Sabers. I got one myself, I absolutely love it. I like staff, I like dual wield, and coming with the quick connector, this is kind of perfect for both. So, I'll show you all the bits you need to make a single hilt, as you can do the same thing with both sides, and get to spinning. Let's get after it. So first, going into all of the pieces you'll need to make one side of the staff. Start off from the very top, you'll have this piece. So I would separate all of these pieces into two separate piles. You've got this piece. This is your emitter. You'll notice the two small holes on either side. Those are the screw holes to secure the blade. So that's the very top. Next, you will have one of these. You'll have multiple connector parts like this, like this. This one will go directly underneath your emitter. And so it'll be flat on one side, hole at the top, and you've got a small hole on one side and a slightly bigger on the other. They will not be used, but it's a good way to identify, and that will screw directly into there. So that's the very top. Next, you'll have another connector piece. This will have threads on the top and bottom, and that will go directly onto this piece here. One thing I was really happy with is the threads on all of these were really good quality, and I'm pretty happy with that. So the next piece will be this. This is your switch, where the button will go to ignite and turn off your Saber, and of course go through all the sound fonts, and also your charging port. Note, the charging port does need to be facing up, and that will screw directly onto this part. Now, I'm going to stop here for a moment because this is the best time, in my opinion, to put your core in the Saber. It is the easiest time. So what you should have is this. You've got the emitter piece at the top, one connector piece here that is threads at the bottom, threads at the top, flat at the bottom, another connector piece that is threads at the top and bottom, and then your switch. So at this point, you want to grab your core. Mine looks gold. This is simply because it is a Profi core. Your one may be black, gold. There's a couple different colors. And you want to take the switch side facing up and simply put that in here. And you want to line up the button and the charging port with the respective holes. Once you've done that, a couple of the screws you're going to need. The main one for this is this very long, decently thick screw. And that is going to be going in this top hole at the back here to secure the core. So make sure that these are lined up properly before you screw that in, just to make sure that you don't cause any damage. So let me go ahead and do that. And you'll notice as you start screwing this in, Allen key, which will come with it, as you start screwing this in, you'll notice that the button and the charging port start to lift up. And you don't need to screw this all the way in, just till it feels secure, and the buttons, as you can see, have lifted up and are in a good placement. Don't overscrew pretty much anything on a Saber. It doesn't need to be insanely tight, just secure enough. Still firm. There you go. So the button's raised, very easy to click. And we'll turn that off. Cool. Yeah, love that sound. So the next part, you're going to have another one of those connectors that has flat on one side at the bottom, well actually at the top, and then threads at the bottom. And that is going to slide straight onto here. Actually the easiest way, I would say, is to just continue with these parts and then slide the entire thing on. So your next parts are going to be this connector, flat at the top, threads at the bottom, and then the handle, flat at the top, threads at the bottom, another connector that is flat on both sides, and then the insert for your quick connector. So, flat at the top, threads at the bottom, will go into the flat side of the handle, and then flat on both sides connector will go onto the bottom, and then the plug connector will go into that. And then this entire unit goes straight over the core. Make sure that the battery is not sticking up because you don't want to damage the rack on the battery. If the battery rack is damaged, it is a good idea to replace them. Most electronic stores that deal with decently sized batteries, these are used for torches as well, will be able to tell you how to do that. And so you just want to slide that over and screw that on. And that is that entire saber assembled. Got the quick connector ready. Don't over tighten this, but definitely give it a good twist. And that is that part together. Next step, last part in fact, putting the blade in. Now for these blades, I tend to wrap the very base of them with sellotape or shrink wrap, something thin in plastic, just to fill in any leftover space inside the hilt to make sure they're nice and secure and don't move around. So I've already done that. Make sure you don't put too much on. As a note, these two do not need to go here. One of them can go at the bottom. The reason I've put them here is it means that the blade can go further in, further securing it. So once those are in, you're going to need two very small grub screws that look like this. Very, very small. And those are going to go into those holes I mentioned before at the very top of the emitter. Just place one on one side. Be careful with these. It is very, very easy to drop them and lose them. Screw that in. Now I would say don't fully tighten one side first. I would say get both of the screws in so they're secure, as in they're in, they're not going to fall out. And then slowly tighten each side because you want the blade to be really nice and centered. There we go. Cool. So now that they're both decently secure, I'll start slowly tightening each side. Another thing I would recommend is, once you've got your core in, if you're not planning on swapping cores a lot, I would recommend leaving the core in. One really nice feature with these, with them being so modular, is that if you ever need to, if you ever need to get to the pins of the core, or if you just ever need to inspect the core, you can actually just screw the top off, the part that has the blade, and access your core from there. The reason I say this is it's not great to constantly screw and unscrew either the pin that goes into the core or the ones that go into the blade, because you really don't want to mess with the threads at all. You want to keep them in the best shape that you can. And that is one saber done. Hold on, that's the wrong color. That's better. Now for the other hilt, I've done the exact same thing. Apart from one thing, there is one difference, and this is a preference of mine. You can set it up the exact same way that I set this one up just now. I have removed one of the bottom connectors and instead put the quick connector directly onto the bottom of the handle. You do not have to do that, that is my preference. I just like the weight of it. And then, while you've got these two together, in terms of using the quick connector as a quick guide, you'll notice there is a gap at the bottom of this, here. Don't mind the slight scratches, this is well used, well loved. To connect it, all you have to do is pull this down. So pull that down, and you can insert this, let go, and there you go. And you officially have a Madam Saber signature Saber staff. Thank you for watching, I hope this helped. Have a lovely day.